Today I'm going to be going through the different steps that you can go through to set up a really cheap, awesome enclosure for your Russian tortoise.
So step one, obviously, is going to be your substrate. I highly recommend the mixture of these three mixes or substrates you can get. Get them all at Home Depot, extremely cheap. All of these substrates are much cheaper than just a single bag of your name brand substrate. Get a bag of this Earth Grow Topsoil. I highly recommend it. We're doing 3 parts, like I said. Earth Grow Topsoil, premium sphagnum peat moss, and some organic Cypress Mulch, just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it up, add it in here. So not a lot of soil in this bag, so I'm going to run and get another bag. Next up is the peat moss. This can be very dusty at times, which is why we're going to be mixing it with soil. And once you're done spreading out the substrate, give it a quick mist, and that'll help settle all the dust. Next is the Cypress Mulch, which we have here. This is optional. You don't need this. I just find that it looks a little better. Just add a little bit and not too much. Just something that I like to do is where the basking area is going to be, I like to add a little bit of Cypress Mulch just because the soil can easily dry out and get very dusty where the heat lamp is. So adding Cypress Mulch on top of the soil is like a protective layer so it doesn't get doesn't dry out and get in its sinuses or anything like that. So just a little corner here, just a little bit of Cypress Mulch. A lot of people say to completely stay away from it. I find no problem in using it. You don't have to use it for your entire enclosure, just as a little bit. But Cypress Mulch, said it before and I'll say it again, it's a very soft wood. You can handle this stuff no problem. There's no sharp edges on any of this. It's not like your playground mulch where you'll cut your feet up when you run across it without shoes on. But now it's time for the fun part. Now we get to decorate it. Now since these are Russian tortoises, you don't have to go too crazy with all the decorations. A simple hide, a water bowl, a few rocks, maybe a fake plant will do the trick. Now, they're not like wood turtles or box turtles. They're not huge fans of climbing. They like to dig. That's their big thing. So you give them a place to dig, you give them a place to bask and eat and everything, and they'll be set. So we have a large ReptiRamp water bowl. We're going to be setting it, I don't know, let's set it here. Actually, let's set it here. Easy convenience. Set it like that. Then let's set his hide right here. Actually, he's too big to turn around and hide by himself, so we'll set it on the side like this. And then we'll add a little fake cactus right here. Kind of bury it. You can put live plants, live cactus, non-prickly cactus, some aloe. You can put an aloe plant in there. Look pretty nice. But yeah, it won't last very long because these guys are ruthless when it comes to plants. So don't expect any live plants to stay in there for any certain amount of time. We'll add a little bit of stuff here and there. And I have, where'd it go? Fake rock, not a fake rock. I have this rock here that would be used as his feeding. Got a little bit of garbage on there. Alright, so this is going to be his food bowl right here. Good thing with Russian tortoises is when they're adults, which is most likely what you guys will have or have already, you don't need to worry too much about humidity. For normal, regular indoor house humidity, which is around 30 to 35%, with the additive humidity from the soil that we used, will just be about fine. You can give them a little mist every now and then, but give them their regular soaks every week and their a good diet. Keep them happy and healthy. So, a little tip, always feed them on a flat rock or some slate. That helps wear down their beak. You can also supply them with what they call a cuddle bone, which is used for birds. It's a calcium block, and they chew on that, and that helps wear down their beak as well. So I'm going to grab the heat lamps, put them on, and then we'll add the tortoise. So here are the lights. We have a 100 watt Repti Baskin spot lamp from ZoomEd. And then in this lamp we have a 10.0 Reptile UVB, which will give off a perfect amount of UVB for them right on the Baskin spot. So we're going to turn them on, fill his water bowl up, and then we will put him in, see how he reacts. So here is the future resident of this little enclosure here. This is Hank. He is my male Russian tortoise. He's my main breeder for all of them. As you can see, he's a real nice fella. I need to separate him from my females. He was getting to the point where he was actually ripping off the scales on their forearms and they were starting to bleed. So I said, you know what? I need to give him his own enclosure, give the females their own time. He just got done from a soak, which is why he's super vibrant in color and looks wet throughout here. But we're going to set him in. This is going to be his new enclosure. All the tortoises, what's he doing there? Spitting up some water. All the tortoises I have a huge outdoor enclosure that they go in during spring, summer, and a little bit of early fall. The rain season gets here before mid-fall, so I have to bring the Russian tortoises in and cicada. But here he is, and I'm sure he's going to love his new enclosure, so we're going to set him in, and yeah, here he goes. So here he is just exploring around in his new enclosure. If you guys were wondering about the size of this enclosure, the floor space on it is just about 2 40-gallon breeder aquariums, just a little under that. It's it's about the same, a little longer than a 40-gallon breeder, much wider than a 40-gallon breeder though. I mean, it's my foot for size. So he'll be very happy in this until next spring, where he can be outside in his huge pen. But this is a really good enclosure for just a single adult male. I would never recommend this small of an enclosure for an adult female because they can get up to 10 inches long. It's pretty rare for them to get that big, but again, it's not unheard of, especially if they've been raised in captivity. So here he is. Here's his enclosure. So a recap for you guys. See everything that he's got. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to help support the channel, check out the description. You can send something to the P.O. box, and I will unbox it there. You can also donate anything for the tortoises, the aquatic turtles, or the box turtles, and you will see it being unboxed and used as well. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to check out my other videos. I have a lot of other turtles and tortoises, so I think you'll find something interesting there. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you learned something, and see you in the next video. Hope you had a great day. I touched my camera with tortoise poop hands.